First off, I'm going to give a big shout out to the Teriyaki Boys for collaborating with Kanye West. Look up the song I Still Love Her if you haven't heard it before. But that's not what we're talking about today, guys. Today, we are talking about Supreme Week 13, not Week 12, as my shirt would have you believe, and the Hysteric Glamour collaboration, along with a couple other items releasing. And in this video today, I'm going to be telling you guys what my top resale picks of the week are, my overall favorite picks in general, and also talk about every other item in between, like we always do. And with all that out of the way, let's get right into it. Before we get started, I want to remind you guys to please hit like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the noti bell so you can stay up to date every single time I post and go live. I'm going live this Thursday for Supreme Week 13 Hysteric Glamour. It's going to be absolutely metal, mate. And speaking of metal, we'll also be going live on Friday for the Palace Oakley drop. That is going to be fairly hype itself. Be sure to stick around for the live streams. Always a good time. And let's look at this freaking drop list, man. And here we are back on supreme.com/news. We have the Supreme and Hysteric Glamour collaboration. Glamour? Supreme has worked with Hysteric Glamour on a new collection for fall 2024. The collection consists of a Vanson leather jacket, varsity jacket, track jacket, sweater, hooded sweatshirt, thermal, long sleeve, short sleeve top, the baby tee, let's go, baggy jean, track pant, 3 t-shirts, 6-panel belt, Vanson leather bag, and a keychain. Holy shit, that's a lot of items. Available November 14th and in Asia November 16th. You already know what it is. Looking at the pictures here, we got the Vanson leather jacket looking so dope in the streets. This thing easily going to be the most expensive item, probably the most sought after. Very clean piece. Love the double middle finger with the skeleton design. We got the varsity jacket, Harajuku style, looking very kawaii. And then of course the person smoking a bong on the back of it, because yeah, some other sick pieces. Another colorway of the varsity jacket along with the Cars pants, Cars jeans, I think. Those are pretty dope. Mohair zip up, kind of sick with the track pants too. I think that's the baby tee with another colorway of the zip up. You get the belt, the full car fit. Not too shabby. Cool all over print. I'm actually digging the Doc Martens down below. Maybe that's a teaser of the Doc Martens collab. We'll have to just wait and see. More pics of the track jacket, and I don't think these are Hysteric Glamour or those. Nope. Very trippy picture right here. Another colorway of the track jacket. This is, I believe, the long sleeve mesh with the Hysteric Glamour Supreme. Some lines right there. I know this piece has 4 different colorways. It looks really dope. I've actually done a fair amount of peeking at the drop. I was away this weekend, guys. I was at a wedding and I couldn't help myself. 69ers tee. Hilarious. We got some boobies in this, so for all the boob enjoyers, you're eating pretty heavily in this drop. Hysteric. Another t-shirt. You got the fuck tee with the naked girl on it. Hell yes. This dude, he loves wearing the fuck shirt. I definitely will not be copping that one, I can tell you that. And then the baby tee again. Vanson leather bag is also super sick. I love the size of this thing. Looks extremely usable. Man, I'd be pissed if I bought the leather goods from a couple weeks back and this came out. Ooh, I would be shitty. But here are the product pictures. Vanson leather jacket. I'm gonna get up close and freaking lock in. God Supreme, hysteric. Some patches. You got the Vanson leather patch as well. The double middle fingers, easily the best piece of the drop, and it's not even close. I'm already telling you guys that. I'm torn between the black and blue and the green and yellow. This one, the Hunter's green, has really been catching my eye lately. I'm kind of bullish on this colorway of green. I think the yellow also adds a classy touch. So those are those two. Probably anywhere from 900 to like 1500 on this. Unfortunate, but it's there and will definitely sell out very quickly and probably resell for a lot too. Varsity jacket, the second tier of the expensive items, not quite as much as the Vanson leather, still easily going to be around 500 and up. Not sure exactly on the prices. Stick around till the full drop list. I don't think we have it quite yet. There you go with the bong smoking. I'm honestly not a fan of the back stuff. I don't know. Maybe some people like it. I think the jacket would have been better with something else on the back, like Hysteric Glamour Supreme Supreme. Even throw a 69 on there. I don't know. These are still pretty cool. I think the front definitely makes up for the back graphic. Track jacket also given major Kappa vibes. I love when they do the logos along the sides like that. I think it looks really dope. The colorways are also super clean. I'm leaning towards the navy one. I'm gonna say it right now, navy or red. I think those are both good. Not a fan of the black one because you can't read the Hysteric Glamour as well with the Supreme branding on the side. Just something about the blue and red. Maybe in person it's a little bit better. I bet it probably is, but just in the product pictures, I can't read it as well because there's no white background like there is on the other two. Mohair zip up. This is kind of neat. Could be kind of a sleeper item from this drop. It doesn't fit the same theme as the rest of the collab, but I actually like that because we're getting variety with this collaboration. It's a wide and ranging collab, different pieces for different types of consumers and buyers, which is dope. Thermal line zip up. You got the bong graphic again, Hysteric Supreme. And I'm also the worst person to ask if these are on Supreme or Hysteric Glamour blanks. If you guys know for sure, let me know in the comments because I can easily be bamboozled. But I'd like to say at least some of these are on Hysteric Glamour blanks, given that like the baby tee, for instance, is one of their classic pieces and Supreme doesn't make a baby tee. Cars thermal is pretty cool. I believe this is from a 1967 movie called Hell on Wheels. I'm not 100% sure. I saw someone post about it on Twitter and I looked up the pictures of the movie and the cars look similar. Definitely 1960s muscle cars, got a dragster right there. I think the baggy jeans are definitely better than the thermal. Just my first impressions. Tag on the back looks pretty dope too with the tan color. Mesh long sleeve top. I think this will be a nice, fairly priced item. It's got no real major adult themes on it, so it'll be easier to wear around grandma and around, I don't know, your Christian youth pastor. Whatever you guys are doing wearing your clothes around, this one you'll be fine. And in the clear or a non-adults only type of vibe. Good colorway choices too. You got the Lakers, Celtics, Cleveland Browns, and white and cream, UNC. There it is. Pretty cool top, I have to say. 69ers football top. I believe this is a cotton jersey and not an actual jersey. Still pretty dope. I think the Hysteric 69 is definitely funny. This is easily one of the funnier shirts from the collab, and I mean that in a good way. I think this thing will do fairly good for just the meme factor and the sexy devil lady you got on there. Would have been a good Halloween drop. I guess it's still early November, so could be spooky season to some. I'm putting my money behind either this yellow and brown one. Probably the black and red will be the best. I think that gives off the best devil vibes for sure. And the back hit looks pretty cool. I like that they continued that character on the top where the Hysteric team name is. And then the fuck tee, we'll have to censor that with the mouse. There it is. Nice adult imagery right there. Great if you are 16 years old or just like this kind of stuff. I think it's pretty blatant and not really something that I would pick up and wear in this day and age. But there was definitely a time, I think when I was probably 16 through 18, I would have loved to buy that. And I'm sure a lot of people will too. Pin-up tee. I think this one is a more refined edition of what we just saw. This tee is like, hey, we don't have to show it all. And we can kind of display what's going on here. I think everybody else can fill out the puzzle in their head. Pin-up tee in a bunch of different colors. Solid pick, not really too hype. Head case tee, this is the oddball one, the one most likely to sit. I don't know what this is from. It looks like the artwork is from Dick Jewell, whoever that is. Baby tee, I think will do actually surprisingly well because I believe this is a Hysteric Glamour staple and people seem to like it. Dancing leather bags, definitely a top 3 item. I think this will be people that want the jacket, can't afford it, or they just want the bag too. I mean, matching the bag with the jacket would be super hype. This would probably be my #1 item if I was copying for personal. Probably would get the green one. It just looks better to me. I like the yellow hits. Quality looks insane and it looks fairly decently sized. I love the sling, how you can rock it across your shoulders, across the body, or use the carrying handle. Do it like that. Dancing leather hat, also an even more budget edition of the Vance items. I still think this hat will be pretty expensive. It might even be over $100. Wait and see on the final prices, but I love the embroideries. I love all these logos and patches. 3 great colorways too. I wish we got an additional colorway of this blue and white for the jacket and the bag. It looks like they split up the black and blue design between this hat. Like we saw the black and blue on the jacket and the bag. For the hat, they're like, fuck it, let's give them an all black one and then split up the blue into a separate one. I'm not mad at it. Vinyl belt is pretty cool. Resale could be another sleeper. I'm not sure how many of these they will make. A lot of this stuff is going to sell out for sure, and I think resale is going to be available on a lot of these pieces. Finally, the keychain. You want something from this collab. You don't want to spend a lot. It probably still will be fairly expensive, and it also says head fucker on it. So there you go. If you want that, it's there. Well, I'm not even sure if this drop list is worth looking at, but here is the extremely partial drop list from Supreme Drops. We have a couple pretty bad items from Supreme, like this quarter zip sweater, okay, or maybe it's a full zip. Pillbox hat, pretty bad. This beanie I saw on Supreme Community, people were upvoting it. We haven't seen the Timberlands yet. Another camp cap. I mean, the Hysteric Glamour collab is why we're all here. Let's be real. Here we are in week 13, and surprisingly, this yarn applique beanie is at the top of the list. I have no idea why. I guess people like it. It's not really my style, but apparently people think it's dope. It's got 223 upvotes. They could be trolling as well. Now, just starting from the bottom, looking at how people have rated these, I know we looked through a lot of the items, but I'm going to pull up a couple other ones and give my favorite picks from this collab and my overall thoughts on like what will resell for the most. Clicking on these right here, I think these are going to be the ones that are most sought after. We'll start from the bottom, the Hysteric Glamour 69ers football top. If I had to give my best guesstimate, I'd place this thing at like $80 to $110. I think around that price point would be pretty good. It looks to be a Hysteric Glamour shirt. I don't know if I recognize Supreme making a shirt just like this. I know they've done some like patchwork jerseys and stuff like that, but this design is really cool. I think the 69, obviously the implications there are obvious, and the red one I would say would be worth it to go for, maybe in the larger sizes. I don't think it's going to be the best resale item, but I could definitely see people targeting this and wanting it after it's sold out. The track pants and track suit in general, I think are going to be super sick. It's the most low key out of all the pieces, I think, just given that it has the Supreme Hysteric Glamour branding. Nothing fancy, but I like that. I like that it's clean, simple, gets the point across. It's athletic, it's vintage. Tracksuits seemingly never go out of style, so maybe consider grabbing these ones. Man, it's gonna be probably one colorway above the rest. What do you guys think? Are we gonna bet on red this time? Red could be it, but if it's not red, it's definitely navy. I think we can rule out black, given that this has the contrast coloring on the sides, and I think that does make all of the difference. The mesh top will also be a pretty dope item to go after, in my opinion. Gonna be one of those middle to lower tier prices. I'd say this thing is probably anywhere from $228 to like $250 seems like the high end. If it's over $250, if this is like $280, I don't know how I feel about it. Pricing will definitely be the deciding factor for a lot of these things. This is my first Supreme and Hysteric Glamour collab. I wasn't around for the last one. I think that was a COVID drop when I was taking my Supreme hiatus. Probably the best colorway if I had to pick. I think the purple looks the best, but could be wrong, and it could be this one right here with the black and green. This is actually pretty clean. Maybe it's this one. I'm definitely not going to be going for this personally. I just think there are better items that are worth spending money on. Here's the Cars thermal. Another look at this guy. Could do okay. I don't know how this would compare when you have other items like the track jacket, like the leather jacket and the varsity. I think those are still going to be the better ones to go for. The bags, but I still think this thing is going to do okay. And I think the pants might even do a bit better. All over pants are crazy, but they are pretty cool. Feels a little bit out of place, similar to the mohair zip up from this collab, but that's kind of why I like it. It's interesting, it's unique, and I think this definitely has some potential, probably in the larger sizes for the thermal. And then for this guy, I think maybe all sizes. It really depends on how people are feeling and what this will be priced at. If it's $228 or below, that would be great. It probably will be more towards like the $248 if I had to guess, for the collab tax and the all over print. If these see like $298, it's probably not going to be as sought after unless the quantity is super limited. We talked about the track pants. Here is the top. Very sick. Honestly, I think this thing will do pretty decent. It looks really dope, and I think it's one of the most wearable items out of the collab. You don't really need to do a whole lot. You get the matching track pants and track top. I think this leans more towards having the full fit than normal, just because of the way the pattern continues along on both pieces. I really would recommend getting both. You don't have to, of course, but if you're buying for personal, I think this one would be worth it to get the full set. And I think this is maybe the best personal item to get for just everyday wear. I dig it quite a bit. All right, the leather bag. Man, I really want to go for this, guys, for personal. I can't really afford to be dropping money on a bag like that. I'm considering having this be one of the items I will go for resale. I think we haven't seen a good bag from Supreme in a long time, and I think there is a decent amount of desire for it. There's some want for people to have a cool bag, and I think given that it is Vanson leather, it's gonna have that appeal. People are gonna want it. They maybe don't have the money for the jacket, like I said earlier, or they just want the bag for itself. It's got the dope patches on it. Quality looks insane. Price will probably be a bit of a factor, but I think regardless, this is a guaranteed sellout and likely guaranteed resale. Now, the final three items also, in my opinion, have guaranteed resale. It might be a bit of a hold for this one right here, but the Vanson leather hats are super sick. An incredibly clean hat, just Vanson leathers on the front. I'm shocked that Supreme didn't require their name to be on the front, but it is on the back in the form of this patch. We also have the God and the head fucker patch. Luckily, the head fucker patch is a little bit incognito, given that it's black and red for the text on a dark blue patch. So not the most in your face profanity right there.
What's your profanity?
I mean, nothing wrong with a little profanity every once in a while, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. I think this hat will do pretty good if the price is right, and definitely a long-term hold, easy resale in my opinion. Now, obviously the final two items are going to be that guaranteed hype. The varsity jacket right here is super sick. You got the S logo. I mean, come on, this S logo, we've seen it on the Tiger varsity and a few other Supreme varsity jackets from history's past. I'm wondering a little bit if people are getting tired of varsity jackets, because you have to imagine how many of these jackets can you really consider having in your wardrobe before you're like, okay, I'm done with varsity jackets. But I think people, Hysteric Glamour fans, Supreme fans, we're hoarders. We can't control ourselves financially. And I think people are going to be going after this. Really dope patches on both sides. Bitch Please, 1984 through 94, or is that 89 through 94? You got some years on there. 2024. You got some text on the front. Sexy lady. You love to see it. 2000, 2004, 69, haha, 69 is the sex number. This, in my opinion, is the only contentious piece, like the bong hit. I believe that's what's going on here. Not fully sure, but it looks to be the most obvious depiction of smoking a little bit of ganj, if you know what I'm saying. Colorway isn't the best on these, in my opinion. They could be a bit better. I'm leaning towards blue. I'm gonna say blue and white is a little better than black and red, but I could be crazy. I could be cracked. Who knows? Wait and see on the prices on all of these. We'll definitely be talking about it on the stream, and as soon as I get the information on prices, we'll be posting it on my community page. And last but not least, of course, it is the Grand Poobah, the king of the collection, the Hysteric Glamour Vanson leather jacket. Such a cool piece right here. It's got everything from the other pieces put into one. I love the Hysteric screen printed on both sleeves. It looks super dope. The zipper placement is sick. The layout of the colorway is super sick, with the triangular stripe that is smaller on top and just gets wider down the front of the jacket. I think that's a great choice. The two stripes, big Supreme box logo, placed perfectly. 5 patches could seem like a lot, but the spacing is done very tastefully in my opinion. You got the collar strap right there with the buckle. Looks dope. Double middle finger. I love that they did a nice restrained back. You didn't need a big back graphic. Nothing insane. A very fun double middle finger skeleton. Really cool patch. Absolutely tough as nails. I mean, this thing is just sick. I could look at this thing all day. Love this patch. Easily the best piece of the collab. I think it's probably going to do the best in terms of resale. That's just in my gut, because looking at the rest of the drop, I mean, the belt probably will do pretty good. Let's be real. I think we could see the thermal hooded sweatshirt maybe doing okay. I'm just not the biggest fan of this graphic. I could be in the minority though, so you don't have to listen to me entirely. This is just my opinion. Of course, the pinup tee. We looked at that stuff. I didn't want to cover at the end there because I just want to talk about the most hype stuff. Now you can see like the headcase tee, super downvoted, baby tee, pretty downvoted. I guess we can look at the other Supreme items before we cut out from the video just because they are releasing micro logo, pretty ass, not a fan. Big stripe beanie. I mean, you get the Snickers colorway. That's about it. Zip up cardigan. Could be a sleeper item. I'm not a fan of these bedazzlings on it. This is definitely a female piece in my opinion. I would not be caught dead wearing this guy. No shame if you are. Not for me. Alpha Omega pillbox hat is troll. Like this looks like something you made in home ec as a hat for a project to graduate from that class, and you did an okay job. Your teacher gave you an A for effort, but it doesn't really look that good. I don't know who would actually wear this thing. I wouldn't. And that's pretty much it, guys. That is Supreme Week 13. I feel like this was a whirlwind of a video. I just got off a 4-hour flight from Indiana, so feeling a little bit frazzled from just traveling in general. But overall, I'm super excited for this collab. We got the wool camp cap coming out too. Nothing too special. It's a wool camp cap with a denim one to boot. Of course, we also have the belt, which I think could do pretty well along with the keychain. I don't think the keychain has much resale on it. It's going to be cheap. It's going to be easy to pick up, and people are going to be going after different items for sure. But there it is, Supreme and Hysteric Glamour. I'm pretty pumped up for this drop. I'm praying to the gods that I'm going to have some money to cop this thing. Probably going for mostly flips this week, maybe just 1 or 2. I went buck wild on the NCAA stuff. We did very well last week for week 12. So whatever happens this week, I think it's going to be a dub. Really cool Japanese brand. We love to see it. What do you guys think of this drop? What are you going for? Are my takes fried, or are they pretty on point? Let me know each and everything in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys on the live stream on Thursday. Yeah.